Welcome friends once again to TV Box Top, the channel for the best reviews in TV boxes and accessories. Today I got my hands on the latest TV stick from Mecool. This new model is called the KD5 and it's an official Android TV stick with Google certification and rights to play Netflix and other streaming apps in HD and 4K. So without wasting any more time, stay tuned, my full review is up next. So I'm back, and in this package you have the KD5 TV stick itself, one Mecool Bluetooth voice remote with Google Assistant feature, a 5" HDMI female to HDMI male extension cable, one micro USB charging cable, a 5V 1A DC power adapter, and your user manual. The design of the stick is very minimal, with only a male HDMI connector and a micro USB port. Whether you can connect an adapter to access external storage, we'll see in a moment. The included remote will be paired upon startup via Bluetooth. It has a simple design with a direction pad and OK button to the center. It has dedicated YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and Play Store buttons, and it has a Google Assistant button. Connecting the KD5 to your TV or monitor is simple. You can either connect it directly to one of the HDMI ports if the position of the port allows it, and if the port is in a difficult position, you can use the included HDMI extension cable to add some flexibility. You can either connect its power cable to an available HDMI port on your TV or monitor so that it powers up the same time you switch on the power on your TV, or you can use the included power adapter. A great feature with this model is that from an off position, you can turn on the stick using the power button on the remote. On starting the KD5 for the first time, you'll be greeted with an Android TV OS animation for a few seconds. Then you'll be presented with a first startup wizard where you'll first have to connect the Bluetooth remote using the home button and the back button. Once connected, you will then have to connect your home Wi-Fi network and log in to your Google account. Once that is done, you'll then be given the option to program the remote control to your TV's volume and the power button function. This process is optional. After this process, you'll be taken to the launcher. So this launcher is Android 11 TV OS and it's fully Google certified with Netflix ESN certification to play their movies in HD. For firmware, it has a resolution of up to 1080p only. You don't get 4K. It has HDR display but is always on by default and there are no settings to set it to adaptive HDR. It has HDMI CEC options, built-in Chromecast, Google Assistant feature, and there are no surround sound audio options. So the primary selling point of this TV stick is its Google certification with the digital rights to play premium movie services in HD. Here, the Root Checker app shows that it's not rooted, which is one of the requirements under Google to attain certification. The next requirement is that it must have the digital rights and protection by way of HDMI encryption to protect movie services from piracy. Here its DRM information shows that it has Google Widevine Level 1 with HDCP 2.3 protection, which is sufficient and meets the requirement to attain a separate certification from Netflix, which is their ESN certification. If I open Netflix in a movie description, here it shows that the HD icon is available. The same applies for Amazon Prime Video, and it will also apply for other services such as Disney+, HBO Max, Sling TV, Peacock, and many others. So if you were wondering what kind of hardware this TV stick was built on, let's take a look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this SoC is Skyworth Digital and it uses 1GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 8GB of internal storage. Its Bluetooth version is 4.2. Its CPU, which is the Amlogic S805X2, is a quad-core Cortex A35 processor configured in 32-bit mode with a CPU speed of up to 1.8 GHz. The display component of the SoC is the Mali G31 with a maximum refresh rate of 60 Hz with OpenGL-ES version 3.2 support. Its network adapter delivers dual-band 2.4 GHz plus 5 GHz Wi-Fi. Its operating system is Android 11 Red Velvet Cake, and it shows again that the firmware is not rooted. Under Devices, it shows that the GPU does not have Vulkan support. Under Temperature, they have disabled the temperature sensor. And under Codecs, it has all the decoders for the playback of HD 1080p and 4K HDR videos and videos with AV1 formatting, even though it only has a maximum resolution of up to 1080p. It also has decoders for DTS HD and FLAC high-resolution audio. I couldn't identify any Dolby Atmos EAC3 or Dolby Vision decoders in this list. I will, however, test for those in just a moment. And that's its system and hardware information. Another trademark feature of a certified Google streaming device is the Google Assistant feature. The included Bluetooth voice remote has a dedicated Google Assistant button to be used with the Google Assistant feature. It works perfectly and it's very responsive. What's the price of Bitcoin in US dollars?
1 Bitcoin is approximately $21,897.10.
Increase volume.
It's at the highest volume.
Decrease volume.
Alright.
For screen mirroring and casting your mobile devices, a certified Android streaming device will feature built-in Chromecast. With Chromecast, you can choose to mirror your mobile device, or you can use it with apps such as YouTube and Netflix. Here I'm mirroring my Android cell phone using a Miracast app and the Chromecast feature. And here I'm using the Chromecast feature with YouTube. And staying on the topic of YouTube, due to its limited 1080p resolution, the Android TV version of YouTube can only show up to HD 1080p resolution with HDR. So the KD5 does not have any additional USB Type-A ports, and if you would like to use external storage or a USB controller such as an Air Mouse, you would have to use a micro USB adapter or hub. Here I have 3 solutions to fix this issue. The first is a solid micro USB adapter that has a USB port that you can use to plug in any USB device, whether a flash drive or controller, and it also has a micro USB charging port. This adapter is very neat and does not have any cables. Keep in mind, if you intend to connect devices via this method, it's recommended that you use another power adapter that provides higher amperage and wattage than the one it came with. The adapter only has 1 amp and 5 watts of power that will be insufficient to power additional devices. The second solution is a flexible micro USB adapter. This adapter is the same as the solid adapter, only that it has a pair of wires that adds some flexibility. And the third solution is a micro USB hub that provides 3 or more additional USB ports, and it can even give you an Ethernet LAN port in the event that your Wi-Fi is having signal issues or all that you have is an Ethernet LAN connection. The hub also comes with a power adapter that will provide adequate power to all connected devices. So using the micro USB hub, I connected 2 flash drives and a USB Air Mouse controller. Here it shows that I successfully formatted a 64GB flash drive to shared internal storage, and here the other flash drive is connected as removable storage, so I successfully increased its internal storage by 64GB. Also, through the hub, I have mouse pointer navigation. Staying on the topic of mouse pointers, using the default Android TV OS keyboard with a mouse pointer is not possible, as this can only be done with the direction pad and OK button on the remote. To achieve using a mouse pointer, you will have to install an alternative keyboard. So on the Play Store, search for keyboard and you'll find an app called Keyboard for Android TV and install it. This keyboard is identical to the default keyboard, only that it allows you to use a mouse pointer to select keys. In the settings area under keyboard settings, enable the keyboard for Android TV. Then return to the keyboard menu under keyboard management and change the default keyboard to the keyboard for Android TV keyboard. You will then be able to use your mouse pointer with the on-screen keyboard. For HD 1080p video playback with HDR, you would have to use one of the adapters I showed you a while ago, preferably the micro USB hub with your external storage device. Links to these adapters can be found in the description below this video. So on this stick, you are limited to 1080p video playback as it does not support 4K. So I'll just play a couple of video trailers for a brief demonstration.
Every night, I dream the same dream. And then... the nightmare begins.
These hands were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace. I need to figure out exactly who I am.
The Winter Soldier.
These rings signify the commitment.
So help me, Thomas!
Sorry. Life or death situation?
So to test for surround sound audio pass-through to see if it can play Dolby Atmos and the various DTS surround sound audio formats, I connected my 7.1 audio receiver in HDMI pass-through configuration and I'll play my list of surround sound videos.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinema.
So unfortunately, the KD5 does not have any surround sound audio capabilities, even though it shows that it has the decoders for it. When it comes to the Google Play Store and the availability of apps and games, you will find that the Play Store is restricted based on its limited RAM and internal storage. So what you will find is that there are lots of apps and games that will not be compatible with this device. With only 1GB of RAM and 8GB of internal storage, there isn't much you can do by way of gaming. Connecting your gamepad via Bluetooth works perfectly and the Bluetooth connection is stable. However, there isn't much games you can play on such limited RAM and internal storage. With that said, the games that you do get to play works really well and the graphics rendering is smooth. I also noticed that the dongle does not get hot during gaming. So to close things off, let's take a look at its benchmarks and where it places on the rankings chart. First, its RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. Its 1GB of RAM has a RAM copy speed of 3493 MB per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 99 MB per second and a write speed of 49. Next, the results of the speed test performed on its dual Wi-Fi bands. Based on my network speed of 250 megabits per second, the 5 GHz band achieved 60% of my bandwidth and the 2.4 GHz band achieved only 15%. To test its ability to complete timed tasks in a single-core and multi-core environment, the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark produced a score of 660 single-core and 1718 multi-core. In my opinion, for a TV stick, it performed pretty well in this test. And to benchmark its graphics performance, the 3DMark Gamers Bench GPU benchmark produced a score of 5503 in the Ice Storm Extreme test and 514 in the Sling Shot test. It does not have Vulkan support, so it did not qualify for the Sling Shot Extreme test. And in the Antutu All-in-One Comprehensive Benchmark, it scored 47,145, which is not too bad given its limited RAM and internal storage. So that was the last of the benchmarks. Let's now see where it places on my rankings chart. So I've updated the chart and the new Mecool KD5 is at position 90 based on its Antutu benchmark score in comparison to all of the other TV boxes on this list. So from this position, you can clearly see that it's not meant for gaming and it should primarily be used for streaming premium movie services such as Netflix, Disney Plus and Amazon Prime Video. You can view this chart on my blog where you can maximize it and compare various benchmark scores and firmware features. You can also get a direct link to the product or a price comparison page with coupons using these links right here. See the link to this chart in the description directly below this video. In summary, the Mecool KD5 is not what I would consider to be a high-performance TV stick. Instead, I would classify it as a budget Google certified option if you are low on a budget and would still like to view premium services such as Netflix in HD. It does have quite a number of cons attached to it, but it is what it is given its limited resources. So friends, that brings to an end this review. So if you think that the KD5 is the right TV stick to suit your pocket, then you should get one directly from today's sponsor, the Refone AliExpress online store, where you can get it for only $43. You can also get all the additional micro USB adapters featured in this video in the description. All the links in the description are my affiliate links, and when you use them to purchase or just to simply view the products, you support this channel directly and provide the means for me to acquire new products for review. So thanks again in advance for using my links. Give this video the thumbs up if the information contained in this video is of value. If this is the first time viewing one of my videos, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell before leaving to be notified when I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video, stay tuned and see you in the next one.